All right, guys, there's a lot of you guys that are new to the channel. We really appreciate all the support, and I wanted to go over some of the trucks that we have, some of the builds we've done. Some of you don't even know about this truck. It's our Coyote swap truck that we've done, and then also some of the regrets we may have and the plans for all the trucks and moving into the future. So let's first start by getting this truck pulled out of the garage and show you guys her.
It's awesome.
Oh, do you want it?
Yeah.
It's yours.
Oh, you're a liar.
It's yours, man.
You're a freaking liar. Oh,
God. Happy Thanksgiving, bro.
What are you doing this for?
We wanted to give it back to you, man.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Moses. What?
He's got a hug too. You got a hug, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. You're welcome. You're welcome. I ain't ever gonna sell it now, I promise you that.
That's awesome.
Oh, god.
I'm gonna wash the truck, and while I wash the truck, I'll talk to you guys and tell you some stuff. This is our 1995 Ford F150, and she was originally a farm truck, pretty much. She had 300,000 miles on her when we got it, and what I'll do is I'll actually link a video in the description of when we how we got it. A buddy of mine, Brian, I've known pretty much since 2007 when I got it, and him and his family were needing a truck, and at that time Jason and I were doing rebuilds. We were rebuilding F-150s, and so we told him, hey man, if you pay for the truck 6-inch rough country lift and all the parts, we'll rebuild you a truck for free. He's like, okay. But I told him the only thing was he couldn't watch any of the episodes until we revealed it to him. So one day after we had finished it, Jason and I drove 8 hours to Greenville, North Carolina, and we surprised Brian with his 2014 F-150 4x4, 6-inch lift, 35-inch tires, all that. And we totally surprised him with it. Well, he said, at the time he had this truck, I'll insert a photo of it. And he's like, well, I don't really need it anymore. If you guys are interested, you can have it. And so we're like, all right, let's take it. And so we took it. Back when there was that thing that popped off around the world. And so at the time, prices on trucks were going insane. And so Jason and I were like, well, what the heck do we do with it? And I was like, dude, we should Coyote swap it and Crown Vic swap it. And to be honest with you, I really thought that was going to be an amazing idea. And well, it didn't turn out to be an amazing idea, guys. It was, if I'm being honest, and we want to talk about regrets, this is a regret I have. Now, I've never built anything quite like this, and I had a fun time pushing myself and my ability and learning, and then the community of guys, Dennis over at Farm Truck Racing, Gumby Sanders at Texas Speed Labs, all the people we've met and connected with because of this truck has been awesome. Absolutely just phenomenal. But the truck, honestly, it's amazing. It's got a Gen 1 Coyote motor in it, 6R80 transmission. It's Crown Vic front swap. The brake, all-wheel disc brake are from Crown Vic. The master cylinder is from the Crown Vic. The booster is from the OBF. I mean, honestly, guys, as a whole, the truck's pretty amazing. But as amazing as the truck is, it hasn't really panned out the way I'd hoped for. So To build this truck, we bought a 2011 Crown Vic. That's where we got the front suspension. And if you haven't seen how that works, guys, it's pretty cool. The Crown Vic independent front suspension is just an aluminum cross member, and everything kind of bolts into it. And you buy this kit from Dave over at Team 321, and you bolt in the Crown Vic, you weld it in, and then everything pretty much bolts in, and you gotta weld in your brackets and stuff and fabricate your electric steering. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So, and then we actually did something most don't, and we used the Crown Vic rear axle. And the reason we did that is because we had it. And then because of Dennis over at Farm Truck Racing, he mentioned a 4-link kit, and so we bought a 4-link kit and used QA1, and honestly, it really turned out great. It rides great. And then to put the Coyote in the Crown Vic, we reached out to Kyle over at Outcast Auto Works, and we used his Crown Vic mounts for the Coyote. Then we reached out to Mars, because you got to wire in the Coyote, and John Martin over at Mars hooked us up with a wiring harness for it, and got it running, and I mean, it's been great. We bought a 96 actually F150 for the interior, because our interior, being that it had 300,000 miles on it, was pretty much shot. And we bought that because we knew we were gonna have to do some body work. So the whole interior is actually out of a 96 F150 that only had 96,000 miles on it, but was totaled by Copart. And so we bought it solely for the interior. So then once we got all that done, we encapsulated the frame, undercarriage, and then we met up with our buddies over at 256 Garage. They're great dudes, amazing painters, as you can tell by the paint on this truck. They painted this truck, and they did an amazing job. This is a factory Ford paint code for the era. It's a dark tourmaline metallic. Paint code is NA. Believe it or not, most people don't believe that, but this is the Ford factory paint code of this era, and I think it looks amazing. I think with the bronze, Farida FR20, I can't remember the wheels now, but the 20-inch wheels, all four. I honestly think it turned out amazing, guys. The paint job is just amazing. Those guys killed it. 256 Garage just freaking killed it, honestly. Just super, super great dudes. Quality work. Highly recommend them. Check out their YouTube channel. Yeah. The other side. Let's see the front real quick. And so she's all right, so we did that and got it painted, brought it home, reassembled it, and we painted the bumpers. A lot of people think we should have color matched them. Maybe that's where I made a mistake. I wanted the black to come all the way around because the black's on the rims. We have black trim, if you notice. That's usually chrome on an OBS. And I just wanted more black to be involved. And I may have, it's my call. All this stuff is probably my fault, guys, if I'm being honest. I made a lot of guesses or hope that this stuff would hit and that people would love it and that we would have built an amazing car that would have connected. And took it to the F100 show, and simply put, guys, it just didn't do well. Didn't have the attention. Let me pop the hood and show you guys that real quick. And if you ask me, what do you think's the issue? Well, I think we should have probably left the patina, and I think we're about 5 years early. Tell me what you guys think of this. Here's the engine bay. Again, we color matched the valve covers and the top cover there. We got MMR, oil filter relocation. Here's our Volvo power steering. There's our Crown Vic, excuse me, there's our Crown Vic master cylinder. There's our PCM, Mars. Yeah, so there's our PCM. Again, our buddies at Mars hooked that up. Really appreciate them. John Martin, super gold guy. And then once we got it all together, we had to have it, they pass deleted it, but we had to have it tuned. And so that's where Patrick came in over at Pat's Performance and Tuning and tuned it to 93. The rear end is a Crown Vic rear end with a 327 limited slip diff. And so this truck with this setup with the 6-speed gets 25.9 miles a gallon when you're not hot dogging it. It's got a MagnaFlow dual exhaust. Again, guys, just a great little truck, but I think we were a little early on it. Let me know what you guys think of that engine bay down below. Yeah, so do me a favor, guys, comment down below what you think of that engine bay. And so, yeah, so some of the things I regret. I regret the whole build. No, honestly, I love it, but I think we probably should have done an F100. We did the wrong year truck. Simply put, the guys that are buying trucks, they're buying the 70s. They're not buying these trucks. And so these aren't as popular right now. I think in the next few years, these things will sell like hotcakes, and we're going to be missing out. And that's just the way it is. Let's see. If you watch YouTube and our content and you watch all the build, you'll see the style of content that we used to produce was more of a highlight reel, I would say. That's the way I would describe it. So it was short, quick. It wasn't really long content, although it's long form. And I'd say that was my fault too, because I remember telling Jason over and over again, it's gotta be shorter, gotta be shorter, gotta be shorter. And that's my fault, guys. This truck and the channel, I made a lot of mistakes. And unfortunately, maybe that's why I don't have a partner anymore. I thought a lot of things would change. I thought a lot of things would do different, and they just haven't. And if I'm honest and taking accountability, I'd say that's pretty much all my fault. And that sucked. But in doing that, I got to build a truck I've always wanted to dream of. I've dreamed about putting Coyote in something. I've dreamed about doing Coyote or Crown Vic swap since I was a kid. When I was a kid, I remember old timers talking about the Crown Vic swap. I thought, man, that'd be really cool. And so I've always wanted to do it. And now I've done it, and I am thankful for that. I wish it had been different, but I'm thankful for the opportunity I've had. I've been blessed. God is really blessed giving me this chance to do something that, yeah, so honestly, guys, I've really been blessed. I mean, how many of you guys want to build something like this and never have, or haven't had the opportunity, or, you know, and just, I mean, just to be honest with you guys, I got 5 kids and a wife and a full-time job. And so, and then Jason has a wife and kids and a full-time job. So when we started this stuff, you know, it wasn't like we could just quit everything. And to be honest, we still can't. So yeah, so it sucks. It sucks Jason decided to move on, and I get it. I think there's only so much some people can do for so long. What is it? The definition of insanity? So, makes sense. So, yeah. So, the reason I'm cleaning it and all is because I got someone coming to look at it tomorrow. So, that's pretty much the details on this truck. I'm gonna get it dried. I don't know if you guys need to see me do that, but I'm gonna get it all dried up, and then we'll head to the shop and I'll tell you guys all about the other builds. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this truck. I'm pretty proud of it. Two things can be right at the same time. I can be proud about something and realize I made some massive mistakes. And I wouldn't want to repeat them, but sometimes that's how you learn. So I'll get it dried off, get it cleaned up, and then we'll head to the shop. All right, guys, so I'm going to get this truck cleaned up and dried off, get the wheels done, and then I'll give you guys a tour of the inside and give you guys a startup that I said I would give you, and then we'll go from there. So let me get it dried up. All right, fellas, he is all dried up and sunshiny. I'll go ahead, show you guys the interior. A lot of people have commented they don't really care for those headlights. I guess that's just up to you. We wanted something more modern. As I mentioned, all of our trim chrome is blacked out. Doors, locks, everything's blacked out. Here's the front. And like I said, we bought this 96 just for the door, which give us power windows. Here's the interior. The dash cover is on here just to protect it, but I mean, she's in amazing condition. These are, I just leave them in there to take the battery off. You notice that's a push button start, touchscreen radio, touchscreen dash. And so what I'll do is I'll go around, set this camera up over here, and so you guys can watch, push the button. It does have remote keyless entry, it has remote start, ice cold AC, and so yeah, let me get the camera and we'll start it. All right, guys, so has proximity sensors, so it unlocks and locks as you walk up, and we could use a remote start feature, but I want to show you guys the startup, so let me go ahead and do that. I missed the spot on the windshield. Push button start. There you go. Let it idle out. Turn the air conditioning on. This switch here turns on our power steering. So as you notice, look how easy it is to steer. I'll turn it off. Not so much. Turn it on. There it is. This switch here turns on our dashboard and our radio. It's got a touchscreen dash. It's got a touchscreen radio with GPS, Bluetooth, new headliner, new carpet. The whole thing's been sound deadening in the roof, the doors, behind the cab, underneath. Everything's been sound deadened. So yeah, let me show you the screen on startup. You probably want to hear it, don't you? All right, well, let's do that real quick. All right, let's do that real quick. What do you guys think? It's kind of quiet. Let's take you guys around. Oh yeah, I did want to show you guys this. If you notice a lot lately, this is a dual tank, but we went with one, so we have a 38 gallon. But if you notice a lot lately at the schools and malls and public places, electric car parking spots are becoming higher priority. And so that's a fake electric plug, so you can park in a electric parking spot. So let me show you guys this real quick. So that's our dash, but when you turn it on, we'll shut it off real quick. Check this out, our logo. It's pretty cool, and you can change it down here. There's different screens. It's pretty cool. So we got this because of a buddy of ours, Jim. He worked with this company, and then One Gauge is the name of it, and we reached out and worked with them, and so yeah, so we're pretty happy with it. So all right, let's I guess get it pulled into the garage. As you can hear that door shut, that thud, that tells you everything you need to know about this truck. I think we're in drive. Let's line it up. Gotta be careful, don't want to hit nothing. That would suck. Pull it over a little bit. Do it again. All right, come on. She's being difficult today. All right. There we go. Shut this off. We don't have this AC on right now. All right. And there she goes into her spot. That's about it. So let's head to the shop and give you guys some updates on the vehicles at the shop and go over some of the plans for those. All right. So first thing you'll see through these doors is these two. And so, what do we call these? Twisted Sisters. So this is a 09 Cadillac Escalade that I bought for the engine, and the plan was to swap that engine into this truck because this truck has no engine, and the seats. I need the 2 front seats out of this truck for this truck. And so if you missed that video, it's the latest video. It's doing really well. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for the support. Truly do appreciate it. And so right now I'm trying to still get that one to run. So if you got any ideas on that, definitely let me know what you guys think. Give me your feedback on it. And so yeah, they are pretty nice. The plan was to kind of surprise my wife with it. This one was crushed pretty hard. So yeah, so the plan was to, I don't think this side's open. The plan was to surprise my wife with them and give her one after it was fixed. There's a core support. As you can see, it's been hit pretty hard. So, and as I mentioned, no seats. So I need the seats. So yeah, so that was the plan. I'm not sure how this is going to go still trying to work out the details. Not having a partner to help with the labor on this stuff sucks because it's a lot of work, but we'll get it. It's just nothing but time. And so next I'll show you guys what's in the garage. Old Faithful. Some of y'all may not know, but this truck, or this mower, does a lot of work for us. She's been used a lot to pull a lot of stuff around. So let me get the lights on in here and try to do this other light without showing you what's over here. So, oh, you notice that? Look at that. Let's get this light. Let's get that light. Yep, that right there, folks, is a Gen 3 Coyote. It's a big girl. Coyotes are, I guess you'd say, mushroom topped, because they're dual overhead, and unlike an LS, they're pretty wide. I mean, you can see from here to here, it's just massive. So it's a 10R80 on the back side of it. And so the plans for this beautiful motor with less than 10,000 miles, well, I'll show you. It's to put it in that. You might be wondering, what in the world? Yep, that's right, folks. We're going to take a Gen 3 Coyote with a 10R80 and we're going to put it in a GMC. This is a 1989 GMC. It's a friend of mine. I've known since he was in 2nd grade and I was in 3rd. And already have the drop kit. We're going to actually bag this truck so it'll be laying frame. And so we went with an infamous 3-link system. I'm sorry. We went with an infamous 3-link system. And so we got our notches, our bags, our tank lift, our what are they called? Compressors, pumps, everything. Everything's all here for this to get laid on metal. And so that video is going to be done with my buddy over at Carport Customs. Him and his guys are going to come over here and we're going to do a collab, and we're going to, hopefully in a weekend, take this truck from sitting at this height, it's at right now, and laying metal. And so, like I said, I've known this guy since 2nd, 3rd grade. This was his grandfather's truck, and his grandfather originally had, I think, a 350 in it. And that blew up. So then he put this 305 in it, and then that stopped working. And we did a video on trying to get this to start and had no luck. Benny would say it's probably my inability less than the truck's, but It won't matter because that's going in it. And so let me know what you guys think about putting a Coyote motor in a GMC on bags. Pretty excited about this build, guys. Can't wait to show you the whole process. I think there's only one other person on the internet that's put a Coyote in a Chevy, and he did it with I think a Chevy. Yeah, he didn't do a GMC, and he used a lot of the factory components from the donor. So our goal would be to use that Coyote, but keep it all GMC, and I think maybe put a powered by Ford on the back. There's a lot of reasons why I'm doing this. You may be wondering. A lot of you guys might think, well, why would you put? A lot of you guys might think, why would you put a Ford motor in a Chevy? Well, first of all, the Chevy guys have been doing it to us Ford guys for years. Okay, so it's a little bit of a get back at them. The second reason is the Coyote motor stock is amazing. You don't have to open it up internally. You don't have to do anything to it, and you can put a turbo on it or a supercharger, and you can be hitting 700 rear wheel horsepower on stock tranny on stock motor. You can't do that with LS. LS's all have that valve displacement junk that you got to take and remove, so you got to crack the motor open, and then if you want more power, you're gonna have to do more stuff. And it's just, honestly, I'm not very proficient in LS motors. I love the Coyote. I think the Coyote is a better motor. And I think poor people do LS's. No, I'm kidding. That's not what I'm just messing. No, I just think the Coyote is the way to go. And so I like the idea of doing it. I like the idea of antagonizing all the Chevy guys and OBS guys and triggering them even slightly. And so this build right here is going to be intense. So can't wait to share it with you guys, and looking forward to partnering with our buddies over at Carport Customs to get this thing on the ground and then get the Coyote in it and have it running and start showing it off. So let's go around the back. So this is how we get vehicles through because, well, that stuff is in the way. So we actually have to come through here, and it's like 106 inches, which is pretty tight. As you can see, there's a little bit of rubbing. What is it? Rubbin's racing? So it gets tight through here, but we come around back and look at all these gems. Yeah, buddy, some gems, aren't they? Which one you guys want to start with? You want to start with Big Bird, or you want to start with the turd? Let's start with the turd. All right, so this is I think a 92 or 93 F150. I believe it was one of the very first Will It Start videos we did. We got it to turn over, but it's got a knock harder than Tyson. So the plan, I don't know what the plan is for this truck because it's kind of in limbo. We've had it for a while. We cleaned it all up and we parked it back here. If I was to keep this truck, I would just go get another 302, slap it in it, clean it all up, fix all the little things, and just get it back on the road. Originally we thought about putting that Coyote in it, but we ended up going a different route with the Coyote. She's pretty square, pretty good truck. It's not that terrible. The hood doesn't latch for some reason, but that's a simple fix, right? I mean, it's just a hood latch. So it's a 92 OBS, power windows, power locks, pretty decent interior. Needs a mirror, which I used to have a bunch, but gave them all away. And so, yeah, so seat's not bad. It's got a little bit of a tear over there, which can be fixed. But honestly, yeah, just sitting here waiting. It's got the old man package. And I think it even has the cool tailgate. Yeah, it's got the stainless tailgate. So again, guys, she's not a terrible truck. Could be a good truck for someone to, put back on the road as a first time. And so I think the plan would be to get just a cheap 302, slap it in there and send it on down the road and leave it ugly. I kind of like the old man ugly. It does have some massive dents on the roof, but comment down below what you guys think we should do with this one. I don't know. It's still up in the air. So, but she is all there, complete, and automatic. So I think if it had a running motor and cleaned up, it would be pretty desirable, especially for a first car and first time owner. And so But honestly, I don't want to put a Coyote in it. I've already done it a couple times now, and unless somebody wants to pay me to put a Coyote in it, which I do if you want to pay it, I don't know. I just rather get a good 302, slap it in there, and send it on down the road. But again, let me know what you guys think. And again, that's our 92 F-150, known as the Turd. And here is the 99 Purple Princess. This truck originally is a one owner, and it had been parked. And I think the reason it had parked is he said he lost heat. And I think the reason he lost heat was because his these things are known. This is a 6-cylinder, and they're known for causing leaks and then getting coolant into the valley and everywhere else. And so I think this one just shot. And so we tried doing a will it start on it. We pulled it out of the woods, I want to say in 2021, and we got her to the shop, and it sat for a while, and then we finally did a will it start on it, and we couldn't get it running. We couldn't get it turned over, so we tore it apart. Well, I can show you all that, show you the inside. I think that's poison ivy that's growing into the trees, so, and that's original from the truck. It's a bit moldy. Could use a good cleaning. None of these doors back here work, which apparently is a common problem in these trucks. So yeah, and like I said, it's a V6. I mean, it's not really a desirable truck. We did have a plan of maybe building a Coyote in it and making a newer like styled Lightning, you know, the second gen Lightning with it, but at this point I think it's gonna go away. I'm not sure what the plan is, but as you can see, we tore it all apart trying to figure out why it wouldn't turn over, and there's really no point in putting it back since it's a junk motor. The truck only has like, I think, 1 or 2 dents. I think there's a dent, small dent in that front corner right there, and then there's a dent on the back corner. Other than that, it is really a straight truck, and it's really unfortunate because it's just sitting here, and it could be a good truck if somebody wanted to put a motor in it and get it back on the road. I just don't know that that's something we wanted to do, but again, like that truck over there, hey, if you want to pay, we could Coyote swap it. If you wanted to buy it, we could do that. I think it'd be a great car. Needs a deep cleaning, needs a lot of stuff, primarily a motor. But this generation was kind of the ugly generation. No one really likes these as much. It is a flare side, which the flare side has the Lightning bed style from the second gen Lightning, so some of those people do go gaga for that. Yeah, I guess it just depends on your preference. But I think this would be a neat truck if we put a Coyote in it and slammed it on the ground and made it more like a Lightning, new Lightning or whatever. So, but let me know what you guys think. What would you do if this was your truck sitting at your shop, rotting away? And so I think the original owner is going to come and get it at some point, and we'll figure that out. So yeah, so that's the plan with this truck. Again, blown motor. You guys noticing the theme? 2 motors. The truck up front doesn't have a motor, and the other one's destroyed. All right, and on to this one. This is a 1969, I believe, or 8. I can't remember. Maybe you guys will know. F100. Her name is Bluey, and we actually did a video on her sister, the Goldie. This is a truck owned by my buddy Landon. He owns this one, the black one, the petty blue one, Goldie, and I think that's it. And then his brother actually owns the F350 dump truck and then the tow truck that we did. So and then actually we're trying to do another one where we pull his father's F100 out of the woods. So yeah, so this is a really pretty truck, guys. I mean, she's pretty smooth, straight. Everything's pretty straight, honestly. Might need to drain the bed. And yeah, so here's the inside, the metal, the dash, everything looks really good. Seat looks really good. The only downside is someone has started taking her apart, and I'm not really sure why. All right, let's get this hood open. I think it's like right here. There we go. These old Ford hoods. Oh boy, baby. Might have to set you down for a second. There we go. Alright. And this is what I mean by being taken apart. If you remember the Ranchero we did, this is very similar. Distributor, carburetor, just no coolant system here. I'm not really sure why it was started to be taken apart, but it was. So plan would be to put all this back together and see if we can get it to run. Buddy Landon, maybe he'll end up doing it with me. I think what's cool about these old trucks is how they color match the valve covers and the motor and stuff, if you remember on Goldie. But maybe get my buddy Landon to come over with me and we do this video together, since it is his truck. And what I'm learning from people is people can leave something rotting for a long time, but if you don't do things to their level of expectation, it can cause some problems. And so I think what I'll do with this one is to be on the safe side. Since it's not my truck, I'll wait for Landon to help me and make sure we do it up to his standard and expectation. So I think that'll help avoid some miscommunication and expectation. And yeah, I think that's just a better thing to do. I could get into more detail on that later as we get down, but I think the problem with going out into a field and starting trucks that have been sitting in a field is people expect them to be running and driving when I'm done, and it's really not my goal at all. My goal is to see if it'll run and drive, and if it does, great, and if it doesn't, leave it. And if it does, then I take all my stuff off and leave it, and it stays the same way it was when I got there. So that's the whole plan, and I think maybe not communicating that clear enough to people has caused some expectation issues and some miscommunication. So with this one, we're going to do his dad's and any other trucks. I think we have another one, a friend of ours, Mr. Randy. He's got a GMC like the one in the shop. I'm going to do it with Landon, and then that way we can clarify and get a consensus on what's expected and move forward. So, all right, on to the next one. All right, so this is a 1979 F350 dually flatbed, and if you remember, we picked it up in Florida with Hank when we did the tractor return video, and the guy rode his daddy's tractor. And so this is a bit rough, if I'm being honest. The hood's rusted out, the roof's rusted out, a lot of parts are rusted out, and so I thought we could save it and put it back on the road, but I think the plan now is to basically use what we can off of it. For instance, I'm not going to use this bed, so if anybody is interested in a flatbed, let us know. But I'm probably going to take this headache rack off. And here's what I mean by rust. This side's good, so I'll probably cut this out and use it on that truck. But that side's not so much. So, yeah, so I'm probably going to use components from this truck on other trucks to make them better. Yeah, because at the end of the day, this truck, she's gone. The hood's all rusted out. I could show you, I think. It's latched, hold on. There we go. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see that. I mean, it does have some good inner fenders. The engine is good, it does run great. But yeah, I think I'll just use it for parts and part out what I don't need and use what I do need. And so if anyone needs any parts, I think I'm going to use the grill and the bumper, because I think the grill and bumper, I'll show you why here in a second. They'll both should fit where I need them and fix all the dings. I really wanted to use that fender, but obviously that fender shot, that door shot. And so yeah, I don't think I'll be using much of it. Just a few pieces here and there. See what I mean by shot. So yeah, so I think this door panel might be all right. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, there are some components I will use, and then I think the rest of it's going to get scrapped, if I'm being honest, or sold. So let us know if you need anything. Yeah, if you come get it, you could probably have it, to be honest with you, because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I'm not sure I need it, and she's pretty rough. So I wanted it to be a great truck. I thought it would be a cool truck, but I think I have a better truck. And so I don't know if I will use the grill surround or whatever this trim is, because this one's pretty bad. I wanted it to be good, but what I really need is that insert. I definitely need that insert and that bumper. So, and let me show you guys why I need all that here in a second. So yeah, so comment down what you guys think you would do with it. Again, the motor's strong. I mean, you know, it would be cool. Cut it all up, rip off the bed, and use it for a tow yard vehicle, like the pull cars around the yard. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Comment down below what you would do with it. I think it's got a 400 modified, and like I said, it runs. So, and we did a video. This was the second bullet start video we did when we pulled it out of Florida. And now on to the next one. All right, now this one is Big Bird, and she is a U-Haul. Was at one point a U-Haul rental truck, and so she's got like a 10-foot bed, whereas this one's like an 8-foot. She's got all new tires on all corners, so just rubber alone, 6 wheels of rubber. And now I think you can see why I'm going to reuse that bumper. As you can see, that bumper is much better over there than this one. The grill, obviously, I don't think the bezel around the grill is better. Maybe it is, I don't know. I'm not sure if I like the round headlights or the square headlights. Comment down below what you guys, do you like, the round or the square? I kind of like the square, honestly, but the round is a 78, and this is what this is. This is a 78. As you can see, I really need a fender. I might try to work that one out. As you can see, they did I would say at least $1,000 worth of paint work, to the point where they made sure they got the windows too. Didn't spare any expense on that. We did a willow start on this one. We got it running, but then we was getting fuel inside the crank and case, and so got an issue with that. I got a new fuel system for it, so I think the next video you guys will see on this will be me ripping out that old fuel system, putting a whole new fuel tank on the other side, and new carburetor, and actually getting this to run. I think the plan is to cut this headache rack off, and use that one over there with conjunction with this one. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, she's got a ball on the bed, she's got a bunch of stuff on the back. Let's show you the inside. She's got a really decent seat, actually, surprisingly. This panel's definitely gonzo. That panel's gonzo. Plan would be to cut all this out, all the rust, so cut it out and put in new, and so I'll probably use it from that side, if I'm being honest, from that truck. But and then got a surprise for this one, guys. As you saw in the beginning, how we got the Jamaroni, because we gave the guy a truck, and then I'll explain to you, we got another truck off site that I'll go and show you guys after this, but that we got for free. And so the plan for this truck is to give it away. So I'm gonna get it running, I'm gonna get it safe, brakes, everything, all the panels. I'm gonna respray all of it. So the yellow will be Raptor liner, like my my Excursion, which I'll show you that next, and then all the black will be Raptor liner black, and so it'll be gray and black basically. And so I think it'll look pretty mean. And then the plan, once it's done, we're gonna give it to a friend of ours, really good dude. Don't want to say too much because you never know who's watching. And so yeah, so she's gonna need some work, guys. We're gonna have to cut all this out. Buddy Landon, I think, has door panels, headliner, and floor carpet, and so she runs, actually. It's not bad shape, it just needs some love, guys. So yeah, so I think it'll be a great truck to give to someone, to be a blessing to someone, because that's pretty much what I try to do, is I try to take what the Lord has blessed and try to be a blessing where I see it. And this truck can be a blessing to someone. It's a bit much than the average person needs, but hey. So the plan too is to move that gas tank over on this side and mount it up over here. I have a 20-something gallon tank, so that's the plan, is to mount that up there. I wonder why it's sitting like that. No bolts. Interesting. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. What you think of this truck? What would you do? What do you think about fixing it up, making it sick, and giving it away? I wanted to get it done in time for 10,000 subs, but honestly, I'm busy, man. I got a lot going on, and so this truck, the Escalade, they're all going to be given away, and yeah, so pretty excited about that. All right, guys, so that pretty much is everything that's on site here, minus 2 trucks. And so what we'll do now is we'll go drive across town and go get another truck that I'll do a video on that real quick and show you guys it and talk to you about how we got it and the plans for it. It's a pretty cool truck. I'm pretty happy with it. I love it. Currently Jason's driving it because he needs a vehicle, and there's no reason not to, right? So yeah, so let's go across town, let's go look at that truck, and then tell you guys about that one, and then see what you guys think. All right, guys, so we are on to the last truck, second to last truck, and let me show it to you now. It's a 95 Chevy 1500. It's a one owner now. We own it, and it's got a crazy story on how we got it. So yeah, so one owner. It's a work truck, extended cab. It's got a bed liner, tow hitch. It's really not a bad truck, to be honest with you. Everything's pretty square. All the lines on it are pretty good. Inside here, door panels are good. It does have a nice aroma to it. It doesn't have the thing, man, unfortunately. I don't think this model had the third door. Power windows, power locks. I mean, look at that headliner, guys. The crazy part is, look at that mileage. It's got 300,000 miles. And so the crazy story about this truck is how we ended up with it. And so we did a 4x4-wheeler. I don't know if you guys have seen that video, but we did a 4-wheeler for my neighbor. Their son was in the Marine Corps. He got out, he bought a 4-wheeler. It blew up. I bought it off of him for super cheap, rebuilt it, made it better. I'll put photos in it here, and maybe even a clip of us giving to him. And so yeah, so one day we surprised him. I built the 4-wheeler the way I wanted, the kind of 4-wheeler I would love to have. And then when I was done, I felt like we should give it to him. So we gave it to him. And my neighbor, Mr. Dave, knows this lady that is the original owner. Her husband was in the military, a Marine Corps, and he bought it for her new. And she'd gotten a new truck, and she wanted to go onto a veteran and someone who would take care of it. He was an officer too, so check that out. That's pretty cool. And so she asked if we were interested in it, and of course it's a truck, so we don't say no to that, right? So we said sure, and so we got it. And so because we did something gracious and kind for someone, we ended up with a truck. And that doesn't always happen. But the point of the channel, guys, a lot of the things that we try to do is we try to be kind and gracious and help others. And so right now, this truck's being used by us, but long term, it may end up getting given away to another veteran. It does need some work, had some front end issue, braking issue. Probably could use a motor strong still, but it's got 300,000 miles, so I'm not sure. In a perfect world, I'd like to slam it on the ground and LS swap it. But who knows what we'll do. So tell me what you guys think of this guy. Personally, I love this truck. I love driving in this truck. I love everything about this truck. I love the old manness of it. I love the classicness of it. I love the styling. I love the interior. I love the way it rides. I don't care who you are. These trucks ride 10 times better than any Ford truck of this era. They just do. They float, man. And I don't know if that's just because it has bad suspension. I don't know if it's just because it's old. But I really, really enjoy this truck. And so right now, Jason's using her. At some point, I imagine he'll end up getting something else, and we'll get her back, and we can go from there. But yeah, tell me what you guys would do with a truck like this. What do you guys think of this truck? And then what would you do with it? I'd say some of the regrets I mentioned earlier. One of them's not being kind and gracious. I wish I still had a 4-wheeler, but if I had a 4-wheeler, I might not would have this. And so yeah, so And again, we didn't do that. We didn't do that with the expectation of getting anything in return. I felt convicted to give it back to the guy. And so, and you see in the video, I mean, the way he reacts and his response, it's pretty awesome. So, very thankful to be a small part of that and to be a blessing to someone else. So, on to the last truck, which is the primary truck in this channel, which is my Ford Excursion. So, let's get that and we'll be right back. Alright guys, and here we are with the last truck in the fleet. It's our 04 Ford Excursion 4x4 V10, and we got her from Copart. And she was totaled. The whole front end was caved in, and then actually this corner was caved in. And so we bought a whole Excursion roller and cut the corner out, and then I bought a whole front end from an 08 to 10 Super Duty and worked with McNasty Customs. They sent us this kit for how to install it, and I love it. I love this 08 to 10 front end. I think it's one of the best Super Duty front ends. And then our buddies over at 256 Garage again came over, helped us with the cab corner, and then helped us with this front end, because when he initially went for inspection, it actually failed. And so at that time, this part was blue and the rest was that pewter color, and the back corner was black. And so we ended up sanding the whole truck down, and this is actually rafter liner. This is a bed liner. And so the grill and everything up here is black, and then the bumpers are black, the wheels are black, and then the body is gray. And I think it turned out nicely. And so what I'll do is I'll show you the actual factory door color here. Oh, it's locked. Let me go around. And so yeah, so this is a primary tow vehicle. It's got airbags, Sumo springs on the front, thanks to Sumo Springs. It's got a center console out of an Expedition, roof rack. And I bought this in January 2021. Primarily because I wanted to have a vehicle that can tow my whole family. And this is a vehicle I pretty much do all the will it starts out of, so I got all my kit for that. And so this vehicle holds, I think, 7 people right now in the current configuration. And it can tow up to like 10,000 pounds. And so these seat covers I got from Excursions Unlimited, a friend of ours. And there's a seat console, center console out of an Expedition. You got the switches. I got my air horn, fog lights, quality radio. Here's my air, and then my and then there's my converter. And so, like I said, this truck was pretty much bought to be able to tow everything we need, because this is the primary tow vehicle of the channel, and then to carry my family. And my neighbor and Jason and I, we rafter lined this in a weekend. I think it turned out great. I take it in the woods all the time. That's why you see all these scratches all over the place. And if you remember the rub on the fence, well, that's where it's rubbing. We did end up having some issues here. You can see the discoloration. But overall, I think it turned out great. And I love rafter liner. We've done several paint jobs with it. I mean, we've done several beds. This is the only truck we've done full paint where the whole truck was transformed from 3 different colors to 1. And I think it turned out great. I really do love it. Let me know what you guys think. I love that front end, guys. I can't get over that front end. I think that front end is gnarly. I'm quite fond of it. Yeah, I think that's probably one of the best front ends Ford ever made. That emblem actually came from the guy we gave the truck to, the F-150 Brian. He got that from a friend, and he sent it to us. So there's probably 2 things I need to do to this truck, if I'm being honest. One thing I have to do the leaf springs. It needs leaf springs bad. The other thing I want to do is I want to take a 6R80 and put it behind the transmission. A lot of guys do the gearing in the front and rear. I want to do a 6-speed. I want this thing to have 6 speeds. I think a 6-speed Excursion would be way better. So let me know what you guys think, what you would do. I think that's really it, to be honest with you. It's a great truck, maybe some bigger tires, but it does well. It hauls. One of the first things I did do is I didn't want my catalytic converter to get stolen, so I sorted that out. And yeah, it's got Bilsteins all the way around. I'm trying to think what else. We just did we're taking this to the F100 show, and the rear main seal blew out and transmission seal blew out, and so that's all been replaced. New transmission filter, new transmission fluid. It's only got 170,000 miles, and it's an 04. And so, other than me ruining it with this paint job, it's in great shape. That's a joke. Some of y'all might agree that it's ruined, and that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. This didn't have the captain's chairs. What I did is I actually bought just one and removed the bench. So yeah, so my kids can all fit, and I carry all my kit in case I want to do a will it start video. I love this truck, guys. I really do. It's not a diesel. I wish it was a diesel, but to be honest with you, I couldn't afford a diesel. 5 kids and all, you know. So I do need to replace that. This is actually a toggle switch to turn off the overhead lights, because these don't have them back then. And then these are this is my switch for my overhead lights up top, up there. And so yeah, so that's pretty much the whole fleet, guys. Yeah. So there's some things I wish I had changed. I think that's learning. I wish I maybe had built a different truck, and I wish the channel had done better than it's done over the last 5 years, because we've been at it for 5 years. But I'm thankful. God is good. He's been gracious to me. He's blessed. I'm where I'm at, and I live where I'm at with my family, my 5 kids. I'm able to make YouTube content, and if you can do that, man, that's a blessing. And so let us know what you guys think of this truck and all the other trucks, and which one's your favorite. Comment down below which one's your favorite.